popping? We back. Let me not scream because I got the mic in my face today. You see, we're in a different spot today. We are in my living room, actually at my work desk. So hopefully the internet does not act a fool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you ain't been on my lives. But today, y'all see what we're here for, episode 19. I do want to preface this by letting y'all know I do not like Mariahlynn, but I'm gonna give her props when she deserves the props because she did say some valid things today for the first time all season. I still think Suki is the realest one on the show. I do wish she would have taken a little bit of heed when it came to certain people telling her certain things, but I'll get on that as well. Um, and yeah, Sapphire's a punk. We're gonna get into that. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments, subscribe. We on the way to 2K. If y'all keep at it like y'all have been, we're going to hit that by the end of the night. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into this review. All right, so we get back. Suki is in the club, pretty much wanting to know why everybody in the club is saying that Mariah got secret issues with her, which she does. We know she does. And she's saying that everybody is telling her that Mariah wants to slide Suki. And Suki said that she pressed her at the restaurant. She ain't do nothing, so what's up? Which I agree. She definitely did press her at that restaurant. She didn't want to do anything, which I think Suki should have taken that into account when she was thinking about what was going on. Because I think Mariahlynn, if anything, she's more upset about the fact that Suki either doesn't like her or wants her to go home and doesn't feel like she's standing on business. I feel like that's more so where Mariahlynn's issue with Suki is. I don't think she's wanted to fight Suki. In my opinion, I just don't think she's tough enough to do it. I think she's scared. I think Mariahlynn is scared to fight people. We'll get to it later on, but I feel like that's where she was coming from with the issue that she had with Suki. But House B, they finally get to do their TikTok dance. They did do it. They didn't play the music because, of course, Zeus don't have the rights to air that Drift song. But House B, they just have fun. You can tell they just are good vibes. I don't know if y'all notice it, but you got Scotty and Natalie in the background trying to blend in with what they're doing. But the whole season, y'all act like House B is so whack. House B is so corny. House B is always starting all this drama. But here y'all are trying to jump in on something that they already planned before they even got to the club. And now y'all want to jump in and try and join on what they're doing. And it's funny because they went viral on TikTok with this particular dance. And now Scotty and Natalie in the background trying to get in on it. I find that so ironic. But Rollie and Suki, they're in the corner talking. Sapphire is claiming that it makes her feel good to see them making amends. And I was like, Suki, I love you, but come on. You better than me, because Rollie wouldn't be able to have another conversation with me. Me, the way I am, when it comes to situations like this, I can't befriend people that I fight. I'm sorry, I can't. If I fight you, you might as well just write me off. Don't think about trying to make amends with me. Don't even try and apologize about it, because I don't care. Like, you decided that you want to put your hands on me. That's it. We don't have any other grounds to stand on. There's no relationship. There's no friendship. We can be cordial in this moment, but don't come talking to me. But Suki, I guess, is a better woman than me, but she ended up talking to Rollie. Apparently, they squashed their beef. So the next day we get House B. They look super refreshed, especially Camila. Camila and Sky are hands down the prettiest girls on the show. Tasiki's pretty as well. But those two stood out to me in this scene in terms of just their fresh face looks. Like, they just look clean and look just super refreshed, like beautiful, beautiful black women. But they sitting there recapping everything. They talk about how Rollie and Suki were talking, but noticing that Sapphire and Suki were not talking, which is what was confusing them. Camila then said that she asked Sapphire about it, and Sapphire said that no, they haven't been talking. Suki don't want to talk to her, rightfully so. But they start singing and stuff, having the good vibes that they've had the entire season. They're just enjoying each other's company. Sky ends up giving Biggie her props for keeping the crowd engaged. We all know Biggie had history of being a party promoter. I don't know if she's still doing that, but she had history of doing that. She was in her lane. She was in her zone, and that's exactly what she was doing. She got the crowd hype. And you could tell just from the video that was viral online, you could tell everybody was feeling it. That was wherever they were in the club, I guess. And they was just having fun. The House B, like, they just have a genuine vibe with each other. Now that Smiley's not there, but you can tell these five are the core five that enjoyed each other's company. Granted, these bitches did not do anything to help out Biggie when she needed help. But apart from that, you can tell they like each other. They genuinely get along and enjoy each other's company. So Sky ends up asking them how they felt about Smiley leaving. Sky was the only one that was bothered by it, or not only say bothered, but I'll just say Sky. She decided to bring up points where Smiley was fun to be around for her. She said like she had good energy. She said that she made her laugh even though she was a liar. She said that everything was just a big production with her when it came to her personality. Like certain things just could not just be normal. Like it was just super extravagant. Camila did not give a fuck. Like she did not care at all about anything going on with with Smiley. We didn't get no comments from Anna, and we didn't get no comments from Biggie or Tasiki. Obviously, they don't care either. But Sky ends up letting them know that Natalie says that they're going ziplining and to go do ATVs and stuff. And they're excited. They're getting ready. I don't know what the name of it was called. I tried to Google it. I tried to Google it by what I thought they were audibly saying. I couldn't find nothing. If you know, let me know because that is definitely fun. I'm planning, me and my sister are planning our 30th birthday, which is next year. Planning our excursion. We're trying to go to Africa and we're trying to do stuff. So if y'all know what that is, let me know because I definitely want to do something like that. Hopefully they'll have it there, but I know they're in Jamaica. But House A, they get to recap it and they all look dirty. It's just it's the difference between House A and House B. House B is the down to earth, humble girls, and then you got House A, the girls that think they better than everybody, and they look a mess. But Rollie is sitting there talking about how Suki and her conversation went. She's stating that Suki said that she felt bad about the fight, and they both said that they neither one of them wanted to fight each other. And I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then why did you jump in on the beef? Like, if you didn't want to fight Suki, why were you sitting there getting involved? Rollie, and this is the start of where certain things are being said that is true, but I'm a still clock when the hypocrisy is there, and a lot of that happened, a lot of irony. But like I said, Rollie jumped in on her own. Like she jumped into something that had nothing to do with her, which is why you ended up fighting Suki. Like let ET have that issue herself. But she stated that they apologized for what was said. I guess Suki apologized for. I want to believe that Suki only apologized for saying what she said about her son, because everything else Suki said was true. So I wouldn't have apologized for it. I don't say stuff that I don't. I don't say stuff that I don't mean. That's just me, honestly. But Suki claims she don't have a problem with ET. I'm like, you better than me because I still would have one because you ain't gonna throw no drink on me and not get away without me putting my hands on you. But ET claims that she's happy that Rollie and Suki were squashing their beef, but Suki hasn't come and tried to have a conversation with her. And I'm like, bitch, why would she? Like, why should she come and have a conversation with you? You're the one that threw a drink on her. You're the one that pretty much hyped up everything to start the fight that happened with her. So if anybody should be having a conversation and approaching somebody, it should be you because you're the one that did something to the other person. She just retaliated off of what you did. Like you was literally the reason as to why she checked you because of what you did to Smiley. Like ET self-aware is not something that she's got going on in her brain. But Rollie then states that Suki loves Sapphire and wants him to make their amends and whatever with their relationship. Sapphire claims that she loves Suki too and is worth it to fix their issues. Sapphire is happy that Suki and Rollie fixed their shit, which I'm like, again, why are you happy about that? You shouldn't be happy about your friend going back to trying to be cordial and friends with somebody who literally jumped into a fight that had nothing to do with her and put her hands on her. You're low-key acting like Scotty and Natalie, thinking it's okay to be friends with people that put their hands on you. That's wild. And the whole reason why she really wants that is because you can tell she's scared of Rollie and she actually likes Rollie. For some odd reason, she does. I couldn't like nobody that put their hands on my best friend. I'm sorry, I couldn't. That's just nice. Call me petty, call me childish. I can't. Granted, if you ain't do nothing to me, I understand that. But still, like when it comes to, and it depends on the situation. Like if you have a one-on-one issue with somebody and you put your hands on them and that person happens to be my friend, if y'all handle y'all's issue on some one-on-one shit, it is what it is. I'm going to try my best to not let it affect me in that instance. If it's a solo issue that y'all both are having together and y'all decide that y'all want to swap it out, you swap it out. But when it comes to some two-on-one shit, that's when I start to have an issue. And if I see in a situation like Rollie's, I would not like Rollie apart from the fact that she put her hands on Suki, but the reason why you did it, like I got to see firsthand why you did it. That right there would make me not like you. But Sapphire is a different breed. She's somebody that, like I say, you don't. If that's your friend, you don't need enemies. But Rollie also says that Suki does have an issue with Mariah. And Mariah says, that's fine, but it's corny as fuck. And I'm like, Mariah, how's that corny? Like, you know why she got an issue with you, because you have an issue with her. And Mariah said that when Natalie had asked her in the midst of the fight with her and Scotty, Natalie and Scotty at the restaurant, if she saw the shit that was going on between her and Scotty, and Mariah said, yeah, it's weird. And then she said Suki ended up saying, but they're friends. And Mariah said, exactly, that's why I'm saying it's weird. Like I said at the beginning, Mariah does have and make some valid points. In that moment, yes, it was weird. So I agree with what she was saying. It is valid. But I also see where everybody else is coming from, saying, like, essentially she's putting herself in that beef, or at least putting herself in something that does not have anything to do with her, which would fall on Natalie, because why are you asking for a cosign? At that point, she should have been like, Camila, Bennett, I'm not in it. Like, don't leave me out of it. Stop asking me for cosigns in situations like that. So I guess I see that. But what she said, I didn't see anything wrong, because I agree. It was weird. But Mariah said every time that she has something going on, or at least something that she has to say about her opinion, Suki has an issue with it. And she's saying that she's just stating her opinion, just like when Suki be saying what she be saying, like how she said she should go home on social media, but it didn't hurt her because she's still there. And Sapphire was like, yeah, but it did hurt you. Like, you don't have to say it didn't bother you because you are still here, because it did. And same thing applies to Sapphire. I don't like her, but when she made a valid point, I'm going to tell you she made a valid point. She did. And I agree, because I'm like, yeah, it did bother you, because you spent probably the last 3 episodes after it happened in your confessionals whining about why Suki don't like you. Like, please. But Sapphire is then saying that what did she say? She said, don't say, yeah, what I just said. Don't say it didn't hurt you, because it did. And I'm like, it's funny how she can sit there and defend her best friend with Mariah, but she can't do it with Rollie and ET, because she decides, this is where she starts to get a little bit buck, decides to stand for Suki at this point, but she couldn't do it when Rollie and ET was sitting there talking about her in her face. Like, Sapphire, you a punk. But Mariah, she then claims that she has no issue with Suki, which I'm like, that's cap. You have an issue with her. I don't think you want to fight her, but you definitely have an issue with her. But Rollie ends up saying that Mariah's been feeling some type of way about Suki since she wanted her to go. Well, since Suki said that she wanted her to go home. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Don't like her either, but I gotta tell you when it's true. But Mariah says that she doesn't know her like that, talking about Suki, but they know each other through mutual friends and other experiences, love and hip hop, obviously. But Mariah said that Sapphire knows her better, talking about Suki, because that's her friend. And Sapphire's like, that's my best friend. I'm like, okay, whatever. That's not your best friend. You might think that's your best friend, but you're not really her best friend, because you're not a good friend. You gotta be a good friend first to be somebody's best friend. So I'm like, fuck out of here with that. But Mariah said that she don't know what the problem is, but she wants to have a conversation with her. And Sapphire's like asking, like, what? About what? You said that you don't care about the situation, so what are you trying to talk about? And Mariah says, and pretty much tries to act like she don't care about the situation. She says she's just stating it because she wants to know if she needs to watch her surroundings, aka like she wants to check Suki's temperature in case she might want to try and jump. But Rollie is sitting there saying nobody was on edge last night and Suki looks sad. And I'm like, Rollie, shut up. You a liar. Because Suki definitely was on edge. And Mariah then says somebody told her that Suki said that she was refraining from sliding Mariah, which was true. We saw it last week at the end of the episode. Suki was literally trying to control herself from going over there and approaching Mariah. So what Mariah was saying is true, and what Rollie was saying is a lie. We hate people that lie. I thought you hate people that lie, Rollie. You should be hating yourself. But Rollie, whenever this happened too, I'm like, Rollie, were you planting seeds? That's when in my mind, I'm like, Rollie probably was the one spilling this stuff and like circulating all this energy because she wanted this to happen. She wanted these two to come from Mariah, or she at least wanted Suki to come from Mariah, which is why I'm like, Suki, you need to stop taking heat from her, Rollie, first of all. And if Sapphire was the one that told her, I wouldn't believe nothing she say either, because she proved to you that she was an odd. Like, she's not your best friend. But Rollie said stop going off the he say she say shit, and said that she didn't hear Suki say that. And then Sapphire once again says that Mariah inserted herself into something that had nothing to do with her. And I'm like, again, the irony of it all. You saying all this to her, but you couldn't say nothing to Rollie when she jumped into something that had nothing to do with her. The situation with Suki and ET, when your best friend was involved, you couldn't say none of that shit to Rollie. Like, you didn't fight her, which is what you should have done. But at the very least, you could have said that to her, but you didn't say it to her. But you all of a sudden want to say it to Mariahlynn. Why? Because she's small and you think you can beat her? Yeah, I know what your game is, Sapphire, and I know everybody else is watching this season too. But she getting bucked with Mariahlynn saying, like, what's your point in inserting yourself in somebody else's business and they fights when they're fighting? Just shut the fuck up. And I'm like, say that shit to Rollie. Everything you saying is valid, but you can't pick and choose when you want to say it in certain situations. You only doing that because you know that you possibly can handle Mariahlynn. You know that you might not be able to handle that big old hippo over there. So Mariah then says that she don't have to shut the fuck up, which is true. She don't have to shut the fuck up, and I'm glad she told her that. But Mariah is now catching on to Sapphire and Rollie kind of having this gang up tactic that they're starting to do because they low key are trying to gang up on her at this point. And Sapphire and Rollie, like I said, they're trying to tag up on her. Natalie is sitting there with that bad skin, just like not saying nothing, but she's sitting there with her lips pursed up, like, and you see like around the outside of it, like all that bad acne, her skin's breaking out. Natalie looks a mess. But Sapphire was saying that Mariahlynn can't take accountability for nothing. I'm like, the irony again. But Rollie just says that Mariah does a lot of pillow talking, never standing on shit, that she says behind closed doors, which I'm like, I hate giving Rollie props when she says something that's true, but it is because everything Mariahlynn say in them confessionals all season does not match up to how she be acting in real time. But Mariah said that Mariah ended up getting up because she's irritated, and she ends up realizing that they starting to gang up on her, and the gang up is on her head now. Why? Because Smiley's no longer there for them to do it, and Biggie's there, but Rollie knows she can't handle Biggie. So who's next? The next person to do it is you. You're the next one, which I don't even feel bad anymore because Mariah had no issue when everybody else was doing it to Smiley. She didn't have no issue when they was doing it to Biggie. She was sitting there laughing. So guess what? Bend for yourself. At this point, I don't care. At this point, it is what it is. Like you can't decide that you all of a sudden want to be anti-bullying when it's on you now, but you didn't do it whenever they was doing it to somebody else. But Sapphire then says that Mariahlynn runs her mouth too much about Suki just to be like she pretty much just said, just tell her what you be saying. I'm like, again, say that shit to Rollie and ET because they be saying shit about Suki in your face and you don't be telling them to do that. Like she's scared of them. Sapphire is a loser. She got a nice body. She got a body on her, but that's the only thing good about her. I'm sorry, it is. But Rollie then gets her fat ass up and starts screaming in Mariahlynn's face after she said it's funny because everybody else got problems with Suki too. But don't be saying it to their face. Don't be bringing it to her face. That's what Mariahlynn said. Everybody else got issues that they don't bring to her face, but everybody else got an issue with me not bringing it to her face. And I'm like, two things can be true because you definitely are that way too, but they are as well. I'm like, she did have a point. Rollie is now screaming inches from her face, talking about don't act like don't act like I'm a fake ass bitch. And I'm like, Mariahlynn, why are you not popping her? She got too close for you to not hit her. Like I say, if you get in arm's reach to where if I have my hand out here and I can touch you, you're getting hit. You're not violating my space like that. Big, small, whatever you are, you getting hit. Security ends up separating them. Mariah ends up walking off. She goes outside and she's in the front screaming and having her own little fit while Rollie's in there screaming per usual, doing what she always doing, screaming, thinking that just because she loud as hell that she's scaring somebody and she's overpowering somebody. But Mariah's still out there screaming. She's saying that she's bowing out gracefully, talking about she's about to quit the show, low-key. That's low-key what I got from that. So she's tired of getting bullied. I'm like, oh, now it's not fun now that it's you. It's not fun now that it's you on the other end. Oh, okay. But she says it's the gang up on Mariahlynn's show, which it low-key is at this point. But Mariah said that she doesn't want to be around them lame-ass bitches now. She wants to go get real money as she gets real money in her sleep. Okay. I'm like, okay, if that's true, okay. But Rollie yet again is calling somebody who has more money than her broke. Yet again. Mariahlynn definitely has more money than you, Rollie. And you calling somebody broke. That's how you, like I said last week, Rollie, she does not have an extensive vocabulary. Like, she doesn't know anything else but to call somebody broke, start talking about their vagina, just stuff like that. Rollie, go back to school. Go back to school. These reads are not reading. But Mariah says that it's funny how Sapphire don't want to fight Rollie and don't want to fight ET. But when it comes to Suki putting her ass on notice about their friendship, she decides she wants to fight Mariahlynn. And she got all this energy for her. I said, hello, somebody. Because that's what I've been saying. It's so ironic how you always, What you said to Smiley about how she always want to fight with Mariah but don't want to fight with nobody else. Same situation here. Same situation here. Yes, you fought Smiley, but you looked at Smiley as somebody that was weak. You now want to get your ones with Mariahlynn instead of getting your ones with the people that put their hands and threw drinks on your best friend. I don't understand it. You only want to get on her because she said that she has an issue with her. But what about the fact that the bitches that actually had an issue with your friend actually put their hands on her and assaulted her? Like, throwing a drink is assault. Granted, it was water, but that's assault. Putting your hands on somebody is assault. Rollie and ET assaulted her. Mariahlynn has not assaulted her yet. So I'm like, loser. But Mariahlynn says that she don't know if Rollie getting rid of them rolls, which I'm like, what rolls does she get rid of? Because I see a lot still on her. But she said, but them dirt rings that are still around that neck, you need to go take a bath, bitch. I was like, that's the funniest thing you've ever said this entire season, because it is true. But Rollie is outside acting like she Clarissa Shields. If you don't know who Clarissa Shields is, Google her. Thinking that somebody's scared of her, saying that she gonna punch the shit out of Mariahlynn, calling Mariahlynn scary, and Mariah calls her weird. Rollie's fat ass then goes running around the bus looking for her, trying to charge at her, throw something at her. Mariah then starts tweaking, calling her a weird ass bitch, which she is. And ET is sitting there hyping up Rollie, talking about she hit her in the back of her head, like she got good aim. She didn't hit her in the back of the head. She hit her in her back, but she didn't hit her in the back of the head. ET is also very remedial. But Rollie is still screaming that Mariahlynn's broke. I'm like, just be for real. Like, every bitch on this show got more money than you than ET. Like, that's it. That's it. And she might have more money than you. I don't know. Shoot. But the next scene, we finally get a new scene. House A, minus Mariahlynn and Scotty. And at this point, I was like, where's Scotty at? Is Scotty having fun with the lemon pepper lizard? Is that what's going on? Because she was missing from half the episode. But Rollie starts talking about how Mariahlynn don't belong with House A, go to House B. I'd have been like, okay, I don't want to be with y'all anyways, and House B is where the fun's at. But Natalie is on the bus claiming that she told Suki that she had no issue with her. But when they address certain shit, Suki decides she has some opinion on it that in Natalie's mind is flip-flopping because she's never there to see it. And it's like, yes, she is never there to see a lot of the stuff, but some of the stuff that she has seen and she's voiced her opinion on, she's been validated in, because guess what? She saw it for what it was. You was just mad because you was on the opposite end of it. Because what she said was that y'all was bullying these girls, which is exactly what you do. You was bullying Smiley. Y'all was bullying Biggie. Y'all was really bullying Smiley, though, and T, too. So you just mad because she called y'all out on the shit and did not sit there and act like her best friend, Sapphire, and turn a blind eye to it and literally give y'all's props for doing shit that y'all shouldn't have been doing. But Sapphire is claiming that her and Suki cleared the air. She owes Suki a lot because there was more that she should have done in the situation and could have done in the situation, which is true. And she said, aside from that, how Mariahlynn thinks she gonna sneak Suki without putting her up on game is crazy. And I'm like, everything you saying is null and void because you ain't said none of this shit to ET or Rollie. Everything that you saying against Mariahlynn applies to them, and you ain't said it to them, so shut up. Like, everything you got to say about that, shut up until you decide to address it to them. But House B, they on their bus, they having fun. But they ended up arriving to the rafting in the river, which looks like so much. I love this. I love seeing stuff like this in Jamaica. But Rollie and ET are on one of them rafts together, which I'm shocked it wasn't lopsided. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I don't know what to tell you. But Camila and Anna, they were on one. Biggie and Mariahlynn was on one. Sky and Tasiki was on one. And Scotty and Natalie was on one. Natalie feels it's important for her to now use this opportunity to mend fences with Scotty, which she already knew that was going to happen because Scotty has no backbone and Scotty is like weak in the knees for Natalie. Like, stand up, Scotty, stand up. And Scotty feels like it's time to talk through their issues too in hopes that Natalie will understand, or at least try to understand where she's coming from. I'm like, why would you think that she would? This has happened more times than not, and nothing has changed. So why are you expecting that? Like, Scotty, I gave her props last week, but this is the shit that be forever taking me out with her. Like, you want her to want better for herself, but she don't. She don't. She is in a domestic relationship. This is the domestic abusive relationship, low key, high key. But Suki and Sapphire, they're in the same raft, and Suki says she don't want to be in it with her. But Bobby is there looking like a crackhead, just randomly there looking like a crackhead. And then they have this long ass montage of them dancing on the rafts, getting massages and stuff, like whatever. All right, we get to the last part. This is the big part. Sapphire and Suki, they sitting on a raft together, and Mariahlynn says that she hears somebody says that it stinks. We ain't hear it, but she claims she claims she heard it, so I'm gonna let her have it. She said, "What stinks is your upper lip from all that dick that you be sucking." I don't know who she was talking to. I guess she's talking to Suki. If not Suki, I guess she's talking to Sapphire. But she said it in her confessional. She ain't say it to him. I don't know if she said it in person, which I'm assuming if she did, it would be on the camera. So I'm gonna say no, she didn't because of her history of never saying anything that she says in her confessionals. But Suki says that her pussy did stink a little bit, talking about Mariahlynn. And apparently Sapphire been dropping seeds in my mind because I'm like, okay, she probably over here telling her stuff, which is getting Suki riled up. Suki said that Mariahlynn thought that she could say whatever she wanted about her and think that because Sapphire and Suki was not cool at that moment, that Sapphire was going to be okay with it and didn't come back and tell her, which is when I'm like, okay, yeah, Sapphire did put that bug in her ear. So I'm like, you get no cool points, Sapphire, for selectively checking certain people. And that's literally what Suki was happy about. She's like, well, she must have checked you about it. And I'm like, yeah, selectively, like she only checks her, but she don't check other people that she knows she should be, but is too scared to do it. But Mariah and Biggie's raft, they ends up getting pulled up to the end, which is where they ended up getting off, which is by the stairs. And Suki and Sapphire is about to do the same thing. So Sapphire ends up telling Suki that everybody check Mariahlynn because Mariahlynn was trying to make everybody not fuck with her, even though they all was already doing that to begin with. Suki, I'm like, let's be real, like, and that's where Sapphire is a whack fake friend because she should have already been done told them that all them girls was questioning you and talking about you. Like you should have been done said all that shit. So I'm like, Suki, stop taking these people's words as bond. Like a lot of these people in this house have shown you time and time again they don't have your best interest at heart, and they're gonna do whatever they can to get you to get into a situation that they want. They want to play puppet master with you. But what else happened? Suki ended up saying that Mariahlynn needs to know who her real friends are. And Mariah was like, yeah, so tell me. And Suki said, it ain't me. I'm just gonna let you know that now. She said, but you do need to know. And Suki said, stop harassing me. And Mariah said, you harassing me. So Mariah said, how are they gonna go from jumping or from helping her get her chain back to beefing with her? And I'm like, because they see how you move. They see how you operate. That's why. But Sapphire is just trying not to look like a punk the whole time. Suki actually had a reason as to why she decided that she wanted to turn on her. But Suki said that everybody kept telling her that Mariahlynn talks about how she wants to fight her. And Mariah said, like, everybody else be talking about you too. And I'm like, yeah, that is true. Like, they do be talking about you, but you don't say nothing and they don't say nothing to her face. But Sapphire is walking over to the stairs and she keeps walking up and down the stairs, which is giving me anxiety just watching it. She keeps going up and down. I'm like, if you're going to keep going up and down, you need to hit somebody or do something. But Suki is laying on the raft doing the Evelyn Lozada like Pat, way. Because they start talking about each other's coochie stinking and stuff. And Mariahlynn starts claiming that she wants to be calm, but she about to fuck shit up and it's going to be impossible to beat her ass. I'm like, okay, yeah. like we ain't watched every fight that you've been in with your love taps. It's not going to be hard to beat your ass. It's really not. But Mariah and Sapphire, they on the same rock at this point now. And Sapphire, like I said, keeps walking up and down. And Mariah then says that she is tired of everybody getting involved in people's business. And Sapphire was like, but you be doing it. Sapphire then says that Rollie is mad at Mariah for saying that Suki said to fuck her ugly ass up. And I'm like, are you not jumping into somebody else's issue? Like, you just literally said that that's Rollie's issue that you're now playing messenger with. Like, you say this about Mariahlynn, but you're literally doing what you're telling her that you don't like about her. Like, Sapphire is she's a big red flag. But Mariah starts yelling and getting hot at this point, which I can't even get mad at her because at this point, she done got tagged up by multiple people in probably a span of 2 or 3 hours. So, yes, I would be a little hot too. But Sapphire ends up getting off the bottom step because she was on the bottom step. She gets face to face with her, telling her to stop yelling at her. And Sapphire said that all the girls that was talking about Suki told her except for Mariahlynn. I said, when? Because we damn sure didn't see it. The only one that might have said something about her and said it to her face was Rollie whenever they was arguing. E.T. didn't say nothing to her face. E.T. was throwing drinks on her and stuff and laughing in her face, but she didn't say nothing. Natalie tried to act like she did, but Natalie says more slick shit. And who else was talking bad about her? Mariahlynn. So, yeah, Mariahlynn, you definitely ain't said nothing. But Suki then says that she was telling Sapphire not to touch Mariahlynn because Mariah can't beat her ass and she damn sure can't beat Sapphire's. I'm like, you trying to tell me that Sapphire can fight? Because we ain't seen it yet. In my mind, Mariahlynn probably could take her. But Sapphire gets heated because the two of them are getting heated. Mariahlynn and Sapphire are getting heated, and Mariah ends up taking her purse off, and of course Sapphire noticed it. Sapphire claims that she needs to jump on ET and Rollie. Hold on. Sapphire said that she needs to jump on ET and Rollie because it happened that day. Oh wait, yeah. Sapphire said that she didn't jump on ET and Rollie because they was not plotting on Suki. It just happened on that day, but Mariahlynn was plotting on her, which is why she's jumping on her now. I'm like, it's nothing but a bunch of excuses with you. Like, Mariah has not even put hands on Suki. Again, Rollie and ET have assaulted your friend and you did nothing. But now you want to jump in and try to put hands on a girl who is literally half your size and she has not physically assaulted your friend, has not done anything to your friend, but you have no issue doing it with her, but had every issue doing it with the two big bad wolves. Two bitches that you're bigger than. Well, not bigger than, just taller than. You could have, from stature wise, Sapphire should have no problem beating up both of them. But she's too scared and she wants to be their best friends, which is wild to me. Wild. But Mariah clocked that too, that she has every she had every issue to do what she needed to do with ET and Rollie, but she's deciding to get her rocks off with Mariahlynn to prove herself to Suki. And Mariah caught it and she clocked it. But Mariah was trying to talk to Suki, and when she was trying to talk to Suki, Sapphire tries to throw her into that river. And Mariah says, "Psych, bitch, you coming with me." And I'm not even mad at her because I would have done the same thing. The minute you decide that you want to throw me in, you coming in with me, bitch. And they get in that water. We didn't see who won. It looks like both of them were trying to swing. But next week, Mariahlynn ends up swinging on Suki. House B ends up welcoming Mariahlynn because apparently she's moving in with them for the rest of the season, which looks to be the end of this season next week. Thank God. And it looks like Suki is getting into it with somebody, which I'm going to assume is Mariahlynn, but we'll see. That didn't show. But yeah, that's it. It looks like next week will be the season finale. Thank God, because this is episode 19, y'all. Please thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. Please subscribe if you have not already. We on the train to 2K. Like I said at the beginning, I think y'all can get me there if y'all continue to do what you've been doing the last couple of weeks, which I thank y'all so much for the engagement. Y'all gave me so many glowing responses and comments from last week because I had such a ball doing it. But I just love talking to y'all. I appreciate so many of y'all, every last one of y'all to jump in the comments and talk to me, whether it's positive or negative, which I don't get a lot of negative. So I'm great with that. But yeah, I'll be going. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow. I don't know if I will, though, because it's not much to really talk about today. But if I do, if y'all want to, just let me know. But yeah, for next week, it doesn't look that exciting anyways. But y'all know next week is Super Bowl. Y'all know I'm an athlete. I'm very big into sports. I'm gonna try to get the episode out on Sunday. It just won't be immediately because I'm gonna be watching the Super Bowl. But I will see y'all next week. Peace.